Welcome to Speak to Shine, where we unlock the power within you, ignite your passion, and embrace the authenticity, unstoppable force that is your true self. I'm your host, Octavian Abrams, and today we're diving into a topic that touches all of us: skeletons at the table. What does this really mean? It's about those hidden fears, the mistakes we bury deep, the regrets that haunt us in silence. Those skeletons, they sit quietly in the shadows of our minds and our hearts, whispering doubts, feeling shame, and trying to hold back from shining with all our might. But listen, everyone has skeletons. Every single one of us. The real question is it whether you have skeletons or is whether you are brave enough to face them? Because when you confront these shadows, you find power, freedom, and a new beginning. Today, I want to light the fire inside of you. I want to see that your past does not define your future. That your skeletons, once acknowledged, can be only can beclaim your greatest source of strength. The vulnerability is not your weakness, it's your superpower. So get confident, take a breath, and let's walk this journey together. Are you ready to face your skeletons and start shining like you never before? Let's go. Let's be brutally honest here. These skeletons we hide, they're the mistakes, the regrets, the failures that keep us awake at night, the moments of weaknesses we wish we could erase, the choices that hurt, the secrets that we think when no one understands us. We carry all of them. We try to pretend that they don't exist. We tell ourselves, if I ignore it long enough, it go away. But here's the raw truth. That's a lie. Those skeletons don't disappear. They sit in silence, waiting, whispering doubts, and feeling shame. Imagine a room with skeletons sitting around a table, unspoken, hidden, but present. How heavy that room feels, how tense, how suffocating. That must have felt like when we can't carry the shame inside of us. Pretending that we're perfect, pretending that we're fine. But here's the powerful resistance. According to these skeletons, owning them, that sets you free. That's where true strength begins. When you look at those skeletons in the eye and say, yes, I made mistakes, but I'm more than my past. You start the real journey of transformation. The only way to deal with your past is to face it, not run from it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Facing your skeletons is terrifying. It's uncomfortable. It's raw. But listen closely. This is where your power lies, because acknowledgement is the first step of liberation. Imagine peeling back the layers of shame, regret, and fear. It's messy. It's terrifying. It's tearful. But it's necessary. When you choose to be honest with yourself about your skeletons, you're reclaiming your story. You're saying that my past does not own me. I own my story. Ask yourself, what skeletons am I hiding? How are they affecting my life today? What stories am I telling myself that keep me stuck? Write down, speak out loud, confront it with love and compassion. Because here's the truth. Everyone's skeleton is different, but everyone's journey is acceptable and scarce. Remember, honesty is the foundation of healing. When you acknowledge and accept your skeletons, you remove their power. You take control. You choose to grow instead to hide. Forgive yourself. Embrace your past as part of your story. Use it as fuel, prop it to you forward. and not as chains to hold you back. Here's where true magic happens: vulnerability. It's often misunderstood that as weaknesses, but I tell you, vulnerability is the greatest strength of them all. When you open your heart, you share your skeletons and show the world of your authentic self. You ignite a power that is unstoppable. They're one of the most inspiring people you admire: leaders, artists, change makers. They all face their skeletons. They are chosen to be vulnerable, raw, honest. But in that vulnerability, they found resistance, connection, and a purpose. When you embrace your vulnerability, you create space for healing. You allow yourself to grow beyond the shame and guilt. You realize that everyone, and I mean everyone, has skeletons. Nobody is perfect, but those imperfections, when owned, becomes your authentic and compelling truth. Imagine how freeing it would be to stand tall, knowing you have faced the shadows and came out stronger. To know that your scars are symbols of your journey, badges of your resistance. Think of someone who made a mistake, own it publicly, and use that experience to inspire others. Their vulnerability become their greatest strength. That's power. Now, here's the truth that will set you on fire. You can turn your skeletons into your greatest sources of light. How, you may ask? Well, by transforming pain into purpose, mistakes into lessons, regrets into resistance. Every skeleton, every failure, every secret, they are raw materials for growth. When you own your own story, you become authentic. Your struggles, your scars, and lessons are badges of honor, proof of your resistance. Imagine someone who faced rejection, heartbreak, and failure. Instead of hiding, they use their experience to motivate others and themselves. They turn their pain into power, and that's what matters to shine. Now, there's another thing that's also your past doesn't have to be your prison. It could be your launch pad when you accept your skeletons. You stand tall and proud, not ashamed. You realize that your story, with all the shadows, it what makes you the unique person that you are. When we come back, we will take a little short break, and I have a special guest with me as well. So tune in. Abrams, and today I have a special guest with me today. You know him from Two Guys Talking NFL, the one, the only, John Lassane. John Lassane, I appreciate you being on my show today.
Zach, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, even though I don't think I'm that special to get something that good, but thank you so much.
No, man.
I'm happy to join you.
And by the way, I love your show, by the way. I love your podcast anyway.
Well, we appreciate you. I'm dead serious. Professor Pat Galliano and I, we appreciate you and all that you do for us. You make us sound good. You keep us on task. So thank you. You are a big part of our success for that show.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, John, I have a few questions to ask you, man.
Sure.
And you know what I'm saying, I really would like to ask you this question. So, for the first question I would like to ask is that, can you share, an experience where confronting your own skeletons led you to a breakthrough?
Yeah, absolutely. I would have to say being in a previous relationship, and that relationship probably wasn't the healthiest of all. And I was just kind of like ignoring some of the signs there in that relationship. And, got out of the relationship and, just thinking back to it and having that skeleton in the closet, it helped me to realize that I truly have to love myself and appreciate myself first before I can truly try and attempt to love somebody else. So I would think that would probably be one prime example.
Right. And I'm glad that you're saying that. So, what advice do you have, for someone like me or anyone else who struggles to accept their past mistakes?
Well, I mean, as you said it early on in your podcast, it's owning your story, owning your story. We go through the things that we go through for a particular reason. Sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's a lesson. So, I think, for those who struggle from accepting their past mistakes, understand that, I'm big on religion, and I'm big in my belief in God, and He puts us in certain scenarios and situations for a particular reason. And sometimes it's so that we can make a mistake that we can actually learn from it. So I would always have to say, always look at how stronger you became as a person and look at how that has changed your trajectory of your life with the mistake that you have, because hopefully that has catapulted you to some type of greatness, or to something that you were hoping to get to. Hopefully those mistakes helped you to see what it is that you needed to change in order to be the success that you want to be.
Right, right. And I love when you said that too, and everything, how, you had your relationship with religion and with God and everything, how He helps you out with that. I love how you said that. So another thing I wanted to ask is that, like, what routines or practices, have helped you to embrace your authentic self?
I would honestly just have to say, I do a lot of self reflection, honestly. I do a lot of self reflection. And within that self reflection, I take a little bit of a self assessment to see who I am actually as a person, and to see, the talents and the abilities that I have. And understanding that those talents and those abilities, those capabilities that I have, they have helped shape me into being the person who I am today. So I just do a lot of self reflection and express a lot of gratitude to God for giving me the talents and the abilities, and making me who I am. That is one of the practices that I do to embrace my authentic self.
Wow, and that's an amazing thing that you said, and I love when you said that too. Another thing I wanted to ask is that, what role, does forgiveness of yourself and to others play in this healing process?
Well, forgiveness is about letting things go. If we're not able to forgive ourselves, we tend to hold on to stuff. We tend to beat ourselves up. If we're not able to forgive other people, I think we kind of do the same thing, and then we kind of like hold grudges. But also, one thing that I look at as far as forgiveness goes, and it goes back to my relationship with God and just with religion. If God is able to forgive us for our sins and for the mistakes that we made, why can't we forgive our own selves? Why can't we forgive other people as well?
Right.
So I think that we have to give ourselves some grace. And when we give ourselves some grace, it allows us to grow as people.
Mm. Ain't that's the truth. Man, you killing these questions. You killing these answers.
I'm trying to keep up with you, man.
Hey, man, you killing these questions.
I'm trying to
love
keep
it.
up with
I
you.
love it. So, last question before I have maybe about two more questions. So, like, what is a story of your life that you're proud of because you confronted your skeletons?
I would have to say the story from my life that I'm proud of because of confronting my skeletons. It deals with this physical transformation that I have. So a lot of people don't realize that I used to weigh over 300 pounds. And so, yeah, I know. Yeah, look at here. Yeah. So I used to weigh over 300 pounds, but I had to confront some skeletons of the unhealthy choices that I was making from a dietary standpoint, from just from a lack of sleep standpoint and things of that nature. So confronting those skeletons helped me to know that I needed to make a change and go through this physical transformation that I've gone through. And it has helped me grow so much as a person.
Wow, because when you said that, I was like about around 300 something pounds as well. So
Mhm.
that's when you said that, I'm like, oh, so me and Pell got the same thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, interesting.
Absolutely.
Interesting. So last question that I want to ask is that how do you see your future being different because the lessons that you learned from your skeletons?
I see my future being different because it teaches me that there's certain things that I want to do, or certain things that I don't need to do, that would hold me back. So that's the thing that helps me in looking back at my skeletons. It's a reminder, but just notice I look back, but I still look forward. So I can't, concentrate too much on my past. I know that the past is behind me, and I have to go towards the future. I have to look towards the future.
Right. Well, John, I really appreciate you being on my show today. It was an honor for you being on the show. You just tore down the house with these questions, and it was just great having you here, man.
Zach, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the invite.
Thank you. So that's it for Speak to Shine today. I'm your host, Octavian Abrams. Remember, you can hear us on YouTube on Newberry_College, and also you can hear us on WNIRPLP FM 95.5. And also, you can also hear the two guys talking about NFL with John Lassane here, also on YouTube. So that's it for today, and I hope y'all guys have a lovely and great day. See y'all next time.
Deuces.